If you're watching this video right now, it's not by accident. Something in your spirit recognized the message before your mind even processed the words. You felt a pull, a stirring, a quiet knowing that made you click. And I want you to understand something profound. That same spiritual sensitivity that drew you here is the very thing that's preparing you for what's coming. There's a reason your heart has been restless lately. A reason you've caught yourself daydreaming about connection in ways you haven't in years, or maybe ever. A reason certain songs hit differently now, why you notice couples in coffee shops, why you feel this inexplicable readiness mixed with nervousness, excitement tangled with disbelief. You've been feeling it, haven't you? This sense that something is shifting. Not in some vague, distant future, but close. So close you can almost touch it. It's like standing on a train platform and feeling the vibration through the ground before you hear the sound. You know something's approaching even though you can't see it yet. Let me be clear about what we're discussing today. I'm not talking about manifesting or forcing or strategizing your way into meeting someone. I'm talking about divine orchestration. I'm talking about God-ordained timing. I'm talking about a connection that's already been set in motion in the spiritual realm and is now making its way into your physical reality. And here's what you need to know, the signs are already showing up. The preparation is already happening. The alignment is already in progress. Your job isn't to make this happen. Your job is to recognize what's unfolding, to stay open, and to trust what your spirit is already sensing. Some of you have been through seasons that would have broken most people. You've survived disappointments that made you question if you even wanted to try again. You've rebuilt yourself from the inside out. You've done the inner work when no one was watching. You've healed wounds you didn't even know you had. You've released people who weren't meant for your future. You've made peace with your past. And now, in this season, something is different. You feel it in your body, there's less heaviness. You notice it in your spirit, there's more peace. You see it in your life, there's more space. Not empty space that feels lonely, but clear space that feels intentional. Like a room that's been cleaned and prepared for an honored guest. That's not random. That's divine preparation. For those who need this message most urgently, let me tell you what I'm sensing as we begin. Whoever you're about to meet isn't just someone to fill time with. They're not just someone to make you feel less alone. They're someone who's been prepared for you as intentionally as you've been prepared for them. Someone whose journey has been uniquely designed to intersect with yours at exactly this moment. If this resonates with you, if something in your spirit just said, yes, go ahead and type a heart emoji in the comments. Not for me, but as a spiritual act of agreement with what's coming. As a way of saying, I'm ready to receive this. Retention hook, don't go anywhere, because what I'm about to reveal are the specific signs that indicate this divine appointment is imminent. And when you recognize them, you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly as it did. Before we dive deeper, I want to acknowledge something. This channel exists because of your support. If previous messages have blessed you, if this content has brought you hope during difficult seasons, the super thanks button allows you to help me continue creating these deep, intentional videos. Every contribution, no matter the size, allows me to dedicate time to seeking what your spirit needs to hear. I'm grateful for this community. Now, let's talk about what's really happening in your life right now. There are experiences you've been having that you might have dismissed as random. Moments you thought were insignificant. Feelings you couldn't quite name. But when you understand what they actually mean, you'll realize they're not random at all, they're signposts. Let me describe what many of you have been experiencing, and I want you to pay attention to how accurately this reflects your reality. You've noticed yourself smiling at the thought of future possibilities. Not the anxious, desperate hoping of the past, but something calmer. Something that feels more like quiet certainty than wishful thinking. You'll be going about your day, maybe organizing your home, maybe taking a walk, maybe working on a project, and suddenly you feel this warmth in your chest. This sense of, something good is coming. And instead of pushing it away or being afraid to hope, you let yourself feel it. That's not naive optimism. That's spiritual perception. You've been having these moments where you suddenly see yourself through different eyes. You'll catch your reflection and instead of immediately criticizing what you see, you notice something else. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself now. Maybe it's the peace in your eyes. Maybe it's the strength in your posture. You look at yourself and think, I've become someone worth knowing. Not from arrogance, but from genuine recognition of your own growth. That shift in how you see yourself. That's preparing you to receive someone who will see you the same way. Here's something else that's been happening. You've been releasing old patterns without even trying. Behaviors that used to feel automatic, checking someone's social media obsessively, replaying old conversations, imagining scenarios with people from your past, they're just fading. Not because you're forcing yourself to stop, but because they genuinely don't interest you anymore. It's like your spirit already knows those chapters are closed and has naturally turned its attention to what's ahead. You're experiencing unexpected moments of gratitude. You'll be doing something completely ordinary, making dinner, driving home, sitting in your quiet space, and you feel this overwhelming thankfulness. Not for anything specific that happened, but for where you are. For who you've become. For the peace you've fought to maintain. For the fact that you didn't let your pain make you bitter. These gratitude moments aren't random emotional fluctuations. They're signs that your heart is open. That you're not guarded and closed off. That you're spiritually prepared to recognize and receive genuine connection. You've noticed a strange phenomenon with your prayers or your quiet reflections. When you think about meeting someone, you're not asking anymore, you're thanking. You find yourself saying things like, thank you for who they're becoming, or, thank you for preparing both of us, or, thank you that the timing is working out perfectly even though I can't see it yet. That shift from petition to gratitude is profound. It means somewhere deep in your spirit, you already know it's done. You're just waiting for the manifestation of what's already been arranged. Pay attention to this next part, it's crucial. You've been experiencing what I call divine disinterest in connections that aren't meant for you. People who would have captured your attention 6 months ago barely register now. Situations that would have tempted you to settle leave you completely unmoved. You're not fighting against attraction to the wrong people, you're simply not attracted. It's effortless. That's not you being picky or closed off. That's divine protection keeping your focus clear for what's actually meant for you. Some of you have had dreams or repeated thoughts about preparing your life for partnership. Not anxious thoughts about being ready, but practical considerations. You've been thinking about your space differently, your schedule differently, your habits differently. You're naturally making room. Clearing clutter, physical and emotional. Creating margin in your life. Not because someone told you to get ready, but because something in you knows it's time. Here's what's interesting, you're feeling both content and expectant at the same time. Content with your life as it is, genuinely okay if nothing changes tomorrow. But expectant because you sense something building. These aren't contradictory feelings, they're the exact emotional state required for healthy connection. Contentment means you're not desperate. Expectancy means you're open. Together, they create the perfect condition for divine timing. Keep watching, this goes deeper than you think. What I'm about to explain will show you why these signs mean what's coming is closer than you realize. You've been noticing the relationships around you with different eyes. When you see healthy couples, instead of feeling envious or cynical, you feel encouraged. Like you're seeing a preview, not a reminder of what you lack. You observe how they interact and you think, yes, that's possible. That's real. You're not comparing or despairing, you're learning. Your spirit is literally studying the dynamic you're being prepared for. Even your concept of special has transformed. You're not fantasizing about some perfect person anymore. You're thinking about compatibility. About someone whose values align with yours. About someone who communicates in ways you can understand. About someone whose presence feels like home, not a roller coaster. About someone who makes your life better, not more chaotic. This mature understanding of what you actually need is a sign you're ready for what God is sending. The universe has been removing distractions. Old situations that used to occupy your mental and emotional energy have naturally resolved or faded. Drama you would have been pulled into somehow doesn't reach you. People who used to trigger you don't have that power anymore. It's like there's been a clearing, a simplification, making space for what matters. Listen carefully, these experiences aren't preparation for something that might happen someday. They're confirmation that it's already in motion. The spiritual work has been done. The alignment is happening. The timing is coming together. And there are specific signs, tangible, recognizable indicators, that show you this divine appointment is imminent. Now we need to explore what's happening on levels you might not have considered. Because meeting someone special sent by God isn't just about two people's paths crossing, it's about spiritual maturity, divine timing, and supernatural orchestration working in perfect harmony. Let me take you into the deeper dimensions of what's unfolding right now. There's activity happening in the spiritual realm that precedes physical manifestation. Think of it like this: before a building appears, there are blueprints. Before the blueprints, there's a vision. Before the vision, there's a need. God sees the need, creates the vision, draws up the plans, and then begins construction. What you're sensing right now is the construction phase. The foundation has been laid. The framework is going up. And you can feel it even though you can't see the finished structure yet. Your spirit has been waking up earlier than usual, or staying alert later into the evening. Not with anxiety, but with this peaceful awareness. Like a part of you is on watch, anticipating something good. That's not insomnia or restlessness, that's spiritual alertness. Your spirit is sensing what's approaching and keeping you tuned in. You've been drawn to certain scriptures, quotes, or messages about partnership, timing, and divine appointments. Not in an obsessive way, but in a natural, this keeps showing up, kind of way. You'll open your phone and see a post about patience. You'll have a conversation and someone will mention perfect timing. You'll hear a song about finally meeting the right person. Once is coincidence. Twice is interesting. But when you see the same themes everywhere, that's confirmation. That's heaven highlighting what's coming. Your prayers have shifted from asking God to send someone to asking God to prepare you both. That's spiritual maturity. That's understanding that divine timing isn't just about the calendar date, it's about both people being in the right condition to recognize and honor what they're receiving. Some of you have had actual prophetic confirmation. Maybe someone who doesn't even know your situation said something that rang true. Maybe you had a dream that felt different from regular dreams, more vivid, more meaningful, carrying a message. Maybe you've heard from God directly in your prayer time. These aren't things you can manufacture. When heaven speaks, you know. And many of you know. Your mental and emotional state has transformed in ways that indicate readiness. Let's be specific about what this looks like. You've developed discernment that you didn't have before. You can sense people's energy now. You can tell the difference between someone who's interested in knowing you and someone who just doesn't want to be alone. You can feel when something is genuine versus when someone is performing. This discernment is a gift that comes from experience and healing. It's protection for what's coming. Your triggers have healed. Situations that would have sent you spiraling a year ago don't affect you the same way now. Someone not texting back immediately doesn't make you question your worth. Someone being busy doesn't feel like rejection. Someone having different opinions doesn't feel like a threat. You've developed emotional stability that makes you safe to connect with deeply. You're no longer afraid of vulnerability. There was a time when opening up felt dangerous, when letting someone see the real you felt terrifying. But you've reached a place where you know your worth isn't dependent on someone else's response. You can be authentic because you're secure. That authenticity is what will allow real connection to form quickly when you meet this person. Your expectations have become realistic without becoming cynical. You know that every day won't be magic. You know people have flaws. You know relationships require effort. But you also believe that with the right person, that effort feels worthwhile. You've balanced hope with wisdom, which is the perfect mindset for lasting love. This is crucial, stay with me, because understanding these next dimensions will help you recognize the signs when they appear in your everyday life. Your life circumstances are aligning in ways that create space for new connection. Let's look at the practical indicators. Your schedule has opened up. Maybe a project finished. Maybe you changed jobs. Maybe you made deliberate choices to create margin. Whatever the path, you have time now. Not every spare moment filled with obligations and busyness. Actual space for someone to fit into your life naturally. Your living situation has settled. Whether you moved, renovated, dealt with a housing issue, or just finally organized your space, there's a sense of home now. You're not in transition. You're not figuring out where you belong. You're established. That stability is important because relationships thrive in stability. Financial stress has eased. Maybe you're not wealthy, but you're stable. You're not in crisis mode. You can breathe. This matters because when you meet someone special, you want to be able to focus on building connection, not consumed by survival anxiety. Old situations have resolved. That complicated relationship situation that dragged on forever? It's done. That legal issue? Settled. That family drama? Calmed. That health scare? Addressed. Whatever was consuming your energy has released its grip. Again, making space. You've been investing in yourself in new ways. Maybe you started therapy or coaching. Maybe you joined a gym or a class. Maybe you picked up a hobby or learned a new skill. Maybe you deepened your spiritual practice. You're not waiting for someone to make your life interesting, you're creating a life that someone interesting would want to be part of. The people around you are shifting in significant ways. Pay attention to these social indicators. Your friend group has naturally evolved. People who were close have drifted, but it doesn't hurt like it used to. You understand now that different seasons require different support systems. And interestingly, you've been connecting with people who are in healthy relationships, who have the kind of partnership you desire. That's not random. You're being positioned around examples of what you're calling in. People have been speaking life about your love life. Friends, family, even acquaintances have been saying things like, "You seem different," or, "When you meet someone, they're going to be so lucky," or, "I have a feeling something good is coming for you." When multiple people who don't know each other say similar things, pay attention. They're sensing what's in the atmosphere around you. You've been having unexpected conversations about relationships, timing, and divine appointments. Someone shares their story of meeting their person at the perfect time. Another friend talks about how they just knew when they met the one. These conversations aren't random, they're preparing your faith. They're showing you that what you're hoping for isn't naive. Someone might have even mentioned wanting to introduce you to someone, or you've been invited to new social settings where you'll meet new people. The pathways are opening. The connections that will lead to the connection are forming. Time itself feels different right now. Let me explain what I mean. The past feels genuinely past. You're not living in memories anymore. You can acknowledge what happened without being trapped by it. You've extracted the lessons and left the pain. When you think about previous relationships or situations, you feel gratitude for what you learned, not bitterness about what you lost. This peace with your past is essential for being present with your future. The present feels full. You're not just existing, waiting for your life to start when someone shows up. You're actually living. Enjoying your own company. Finding meaning in your daily routines. Building something, creating something, contributing something. Your life has substance right now, which means when someone enters, there'll be an addition, not a completion. The future feels close. Not distant and abstract, but approaching. You can sense it. Like standing at the shore and knowing the tide is coming in even though you can't see the water moving yet. That feeling isn't wishful thinking, it's spiritual perception. Your spirit senses what's coming before your physical eyes can see it. You've stopped obsessing over timelines. You're not counting days or creating deadlines. You've surrendered the when while remaining confident in that. This is the sweet spot. This is where divine timing meets human trust. Pay attention to what happens next. The layers beneath this are profound, and what I'm about to share will help you recognize exactly where you are in this process. There's an energetic shift that happens when divine appointment is near. It's subtle but unmistakable once you know what to look for. Your vibration has elevated. You feel lighter. Even on hard days, there's an underlying current of hope that stays with you. You're not being pulled down by negativity the way you used to be. You can acknowledge difficult realities without being consumed by them. This high vibration isn't about toxic positivity, it's about genuine peace that comes from inner healing and spiritual alignment. You're naturally attracting positive experiences. Little things are working out. You get the parking spot. You find the item you needed on sale. You have a surprisingly pleasant interaction with a stranger. These aren't just good luck, they're indicators that you're in a flow state. When you're in alignment, things flow. And that flow extends to all areas, including relationships. You've become magnetic without trying. People are drawn to you lately. They want to talk to you, be around you, hear your perspective. It's not that you've changed your appearance or personality, it's that your energy has shifted. There's a light in you that wasn't there before, and light attracts. You can feel when you're in the right place at the right time. You've started trusting these intuitive nudges. That feeling of, I should go to this event, or I should take this route, or I should say yes to this invitation. You're being divinely guided, and you're finally sensitive enough to recognize it and follow it. Who you are has fundamentally changed. This is perhaps the most important indicator of all. You've stopped performing. You're not trying to be who you think someone will want. You're not hiding parts of yourself or exaggerating others. You're just, you. Comfortably, confidently you. This authenticity is what will allow real love to find you, because they'll be finding the real you, not a version you can't sustain. You've embraced your wholeness. You're not half a person looking for completion. You're a whole person who would enjoy sharing life with another whole person. This shift from, I need someone, to, I'm ready to share with someone, changes everything. It transforms the energy you put out. It affects who you attract and what you create together. You know your worth. Not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded way. You know what you bring to a relationship. You know you're not perfect, but you're valuable. You know you're not for everyone, and that's okay because you're perfectly suited for someone specific. This confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others, it's about knowing you're enough. You've defined your non-negotiables without being rigid. You know what you need in a partner, what qualities matter, what values must align, what kind of treatment you require. But you're also flexible about preferences versus requirements. You've distinguished between must-have and would be nice. This clarity will help you recognize your person when they appear. You've become the person you want to attract. If you want someone kind, you've cultivated kindness. If you want someone faithful, you've demonstrated faithfulness. If you want someone who communicates well, you've worked on your communication. You're not waiting to meet someone to become your best self, you're already becoming it. That's the paradox, you attract the relationship when you stop needing it to complete you. Now we arrive at the core truth, the revelation that ties everything together. And this is something you need to understand deeply. Divine appointments aren't about God randomly selecting two people and throwing them together. They're about God preparing two people separately, aligning their healing journeys, synchronizing their growth timelines, and orchestrating their paths to intersect at the exact moment when both are ready to recognize and honor what they've found. You are in the final stage of preparation. Let that sink in. The final stage. Not the beginning. Not the middle. The final refinements are happening right now. The last pieces are falling into place. The ultimate details are being handled. Think about what final stage means. It means the hard work is done. The major healing has happened. The significant growth has occurred. The necessary lessons have been learned. What's happening now is fine-tuning. It's like when you're preparing your home for an important guest, the major cleaning is finished, now you're fluffing pillows and lighting candles and setting out fresh flowers. The substance is handled, now it's the finishing touches. That restless energy you feel? That's your spirit sensing proximity. You know how animals can sense a storm coming before humans see any evidence. How birds fly erratically before an earthquake. How dogs hear frequencies we can't. That's because they're tuned into dimensions of reality we often miss. Your spirit right now is like that, tuned into a frequency that knows something your physical senses haven't confirmed yet. Here's what's actually happening while you're going about your daily life: your person is being prepared too. They're having their own journey, their own healing, their own revelations. They're becoming someone capable of seeing you, valuing you, choosing you well. They're dealing with their own past. They're learning their own lessons. They're growing into their own readiness. And the beautiful mystery is that your timelines are being coordinated without either of you knowing it. Somewhere, they're having thoughts about being ready for something real. Somewhere, they're tired of shallow connections. Somewhere, they're praying for someone genuine. Somewhere, they're wondering if the person they've been hoping for actually exists. Somewhere, they're healing from their last disappointment. Somewhere, they're becoming the person who can meet you where you are. And neither of you knows how close you are to each other. But God knows. Heaven sees both paths. The angels assigned to your story are working on both sides, preparing both hearts, orchestrating both journeys to intersect at the appointed time. If this is touching your soul, please consider supporting this ministry through the Super Thanks feature. Your generosity allows me to spend hours seeking what your spirit needs to hear. I'm deeply grateful. Now, here's the truth that might challenge you: you don't get to control when or where or how this meeting happens. And that lack of control? That's actually the gift. Because if you could control it, you'd do it based on your limited perspective. You'd choose based on who looks right from the outside. You'd decide based on your timeline, which doesn't account for all the variables. You'd settle for good enough because you can't see what God has in mind. But divine timing accounts for everything. It factors in your healing timeline. Their healing timeline. The lessons you both need to learn first. The ways you both need to grow. The circumstances that need to align. The preparation that needs to happen. And then, at exactly the right moment, not 1 second before, not 1 second after, the paths cross. You've been frustrated by the wait, I know. You've wondered why it's taking so long. You've questioned if maybe you missed your chance. You've worried that everyone else found their person and somehow you got skipped. But what if the wait wasn't about punishment? What if it was about preparation? What if every single day of this journey has been necessary to make you ready for what's coming? Think about it: if you had met them 3 years ago, would you have been ready? Would you have recognized them? Would you have had the emotional maturity to build something lasting? Would you have known how to communicate, how to be vulnerable, how to trust without being naive? Or would you have repeated old patterns and possibly destroyed something meant to be beautiful? The wait hasn't been wasted. It's been working for you. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every heartbreak revealed what you actually need. Every lonely night strengthened your ability to be alone without being desperate. Every healing session prepared you to love without projecting your wounds onto someone else. Every moment of growth made you more capable of the connection you desire. And here's what some of you need to hear: you're not behind. There's no cosmic schedule you're falling short of. There's no age by which this should have happened. There's no comparison chart where your life is being measured against others. Your journey is your journey. Your timing is your timing. And your person will arrive when both of you are ready, regardless of what year that happens to be. The enemy of your soul wants you to feel anxious about timing. Wants you to look around and feel less than because others have what you're waiting for. Wants you to settle out of fear that nothing better is coming. Wants you to close your heart because hoping feels too risky. But I need you to resist that voice. Stay open. Stay hopeful. Stay trusting. Because here's what I know in my spirit, for many watching this video, that meeting is so close. We're talking weeks, not years. Maybe even days for some. The signs are everywhere. The preparation is complete. The timing is aligning. The orchestration is in its final movements. And when it happens, when you look across a room, or match online, or get introduced by a friend, or bump into someone in the most ordinary place, something in you will recognize something in them. It won't necessarily be fireworks. It might just be a quiet knowing. A sense of, oh, there you are. A feeling of familiar even though you've never met. A surprising comfort. An unexpected peace. You might not even realize it in that first moment. But looking back, you'll see that your spirit knew before your mind caught up. You'll remember that something felt different. That you felt drawn in a way you couldn't explain. That despite all your carefully constructed walls and wisdom and discernment, something in you said, pay attention to this one. That's divine recognition. That's your spirit identifying what heaven has sent. And once that connection forms, you'll understand why everything else had to fall apart. Why those other relationships couldn't work. Why the timing never seemed right before. Why you had to go through everything you went through. It will all make sense. The dots will connect. The story will have coherence. You'll look at this person and think, I couldn't have met you before this version of me existed. And you couldn't have met me before that version of you emerged. We needed to become who we are to recognize each other. What I'm about to share will give you the practical wisdom to navigate what's coming. So how do you navigate this season of anticipation? How do you stay grounded while staying open? How do you trust divine timing while living your life fully? Let me give you practical principles for this unique moment you're in. Principle 1, live fully where you are. The worst thing you can do right now is put your life on hold waiting for someone to show up. Don't delay joy. Don't postpone adventures. Don't save experiences for when you have someone to share them with. This moment, right now, single, in this season, is part of your story. Live it fully. Take that trip you've been planning. Decorate your space exactly how you want it. Invest in experiences that matter to you. Build friendships deeply. Pursue goals passionately. Create memories intentionally. Because when you meet your person, you want to have a rich, full life to invite them into, not an empty life you're hoping they'll fill. Plus, here's the secret, you're most attractive when you're fully alive. When you're engaged with your life, passionate about your pursuits, joyful in your journey. That energy is magnetic. Living fully now actually accelerates the meeting because you become irresistible to the right person. Principle 2, stay in your body. Anticipation can pull you into your head, into fantasy, into future tripping. But I need you to stay present. Stay in your body. Notice what you feel physically. Stay grounded in the moment you're actually in. When you feel that excited nervous energy, take deep breaths. When you catch yourself spinning future scenarios, come back to now. When you're tempted to obsessively plan or worry, feel your feet on the ground. Being present isn't about denying what's coming, it's about not missing what's happening right now. Your person might walk into your life during the most ordinary moment. If you're so lost in your head that you miss the present, you might literally miss them. Stay aware. Stay present. Stay in your actual life. Principle 3, steward your energy wisely. You have limited emotional and mental energy. Don't waste it on situations you know aren't right. Don't entertain connections just to fill time. Don't go back to people you know aren't your person just because you're feeling impatient. Every minute you spend in the wrong situation is a minute you're not available for the right one. Every piece of energy you give to someone who isn't meant for you is energy you don't have for who is. Be ruthlessly protective of your heart, your time, your attention. Guard what's precious. This doesn't mean being closed off. It means being discerning. There's a difference between being open to connection and being open to anyone. Stay open to the right connection while remaining boundaried against the wrong ones. Principle 4, trust your intuition. Your intuition is heightened right now. Those gut feelings, those inner nudges, those quiet knowings, trust them. If something feels off, it probably is. If something feels right, pay attention. If you feel led to go somewhere, say yes to something, reach out to someone, honor that leading. Divine orchestration often works through natural means. You'll feel prompted to attend an event. You'll have an urge to try a new coffee shop. You'll think about reconnecting with an old friend. These aren't random thoughts, they're divine directions. When you follow them, you position yourself in the path of divine appointments. But here's the balance: trust your intuition without becoming superstitious. Don't turn every decision into a cosmic sign. Don't analyze every feeling to death. Just notice what you notice, honor what you sense, and move forward with wisdom. Principle 5, maintain healthy rhythms. Don't let anticipation disrupt your health and wellness. Keep exercising. Keep eating well. Keep sleeping adequately. Keep managing stress. Keep engaging in practices that keep you grounded and centered. When you meet this person, you want to be in good shape physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Healthy people build healthy relationships. If you're running yourself ragged, not taking care of yourself, living in chaos, that affects your capacity for connection. Do the loving thing for yourself now. Create rhythms that sustain you. Build a foundation of wellness. Your daily habits are either preparing you or preventing you from being ready. Choose habits that prepare you. Not in a desperate, I have to be perfect way, but in a loving, I'm caring for the person I'm becoming way. Principle 6, practice receiving. Many of you are great at giving but terrible at receiving. You need to practice receiving now. Let people help you. Accept compliments genuinely. Allow friends to treat you. Receive generosity without immediately trying to reciprocate. Say thank you without apologizing. Why does this matter? Because when your person shows up, they're going to want to give to you their time, attention, affection, energy, resources. If you can't receive, you'll push them away or exhaust yourself trying to maintain perfect balance. Practice receiving as spiritual preparation for partnership. Principle 7, continue healing. Just because you're in the final stage of preparation doesn't mean there's no more healing to do. Stay in therapy if you're in therapy. Continue your spiritual practices. Keep journaling, processing, growing. Some healing only happens in relationship, but do what you can do now. Address any lingering fears about vulnerability. Work through any remaining trust issues. Process any unresolved grief. Deal with any patterns you know need to change. You want to enter this new connection as healthy as possible, not expecting them to fix what you know needs your attention. Principle 8, clarify your values. Get really clear about what matters to you. What do you value? What kind of life do you want to create? What principles guide your decisions? What matters more than attraction or chemistry? Write it down. Get specific. Know yourself. When you're clear about your values, you can recognize alignment quickly. You won't waste time trying to make something work with someone whose values fundamentally conflict with yours. You'll know within a few conversations whether there's potential for real compatibility. This clarity also helps you avoid the trap of trying to fit yourself into someone else's life. You know who you are and what you need. You're looking for someone who complements that, not someone who requires you to abandon it. Principle 9, cultivate patience with process. When you do meet this person, don't rush the process. Divine timing doesn't end at the meeting, it continues through the unfolding. Let things develop naturally. Don't force intensity. Don't push for commitment before foundation is built. Trust the pace. Real love doesn't need to be rushed. Real connection deepens over time. Real compatibility reveals itself through various circumstances and seasons. You've waited this long for the right person. Once you find them, give the relationship the time it needs to develop properly. This is especially important if you've been waiting a long time. The temptation will be to accelerate everything because you're behind schedule. But there is no schedule. There's only the natural rhythm of two people getting to know each other and building something solid. Principle 10. Stay connected to your source. Whatever your spiritual practice is, prayer, meditation, church, nature time, creative expression, maintain it. Don't get so caught up in anticipation of meeting someone that you disconnect from your relationship with God or your spiritual center. That connection is your anchor. It's your source of wisdom, peace, strength, and guidance. It's what will help you navigate the relationship once it forms. It's what will sustain you through challenges. It's what keeps you grounded. Plus, staying spiritually connected keeps you tuned into divine timing. You'll sense when to move forward and when to wait. You'll discern what's from God and what's just your own anxiety or desire. You'll recognize the right person because your spirit will confirm what your mind is considering. Now watch how this shifts. These aren't just nice ideas, these are practical tools that will determine how well you navigate what's coming. Principle 11. Release control. Here's a hard truth, you can't make this happen faster. You can't force divine timing. You can't manipulate circumstances to create the meeting. All your strategies and plans and efforts can't override God's orchestration. So release control. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming surrendered. It means doing what's yours to do, staying healthy, staying open, staying available, and trusting God with what's His to do, the timing, the details, the how. Every time you feel yourself trying to control the situation, take a breath and release it. Say out loud if you need to, I trust divine timing. I trust God's orchestration. I release control. Make it a practice. Because the grip of control blocks the flow of grace. Principle 12. Extend grace to yourself. You're going to have moments of doubt. Days where you wonder if you're just fooling yourself. Times when hope feels naive. Seasons where you feel impatient or frustrated or scared. That's normal. That's human. Don't beat yourself up for it. Extend the same grace to yourself that you'd extend to a friend. Acknowledge your feelings without letting them define your reality. You can feel doubt and still choose trust. You can feel impatient and still choose patience. You can feel scared and still choose hope. Be gentle with yourself through this process. You're doing something brave, staying open-hearted in a world that often rewards cynicism. You're doing something difficult, trusting timing you can't see. You're doing something countercultural, believing in divine orchestration when everything around you says to take matters into your own hands. Give yourself credit for that. So let me bring this home for you. Let me speak directly to where you are right now. You clicked on this video because something in you knew you needed to hear this. And I want to confirm what your spirit already sensed. Yes, something is coming. Yes, divine timing is working in your favor. Yes, you've been prepared for a reason. Yes, the signs are real. Yes, it's closer than you think. But more than that, I want you to understand that you're not just passively waiting for something to happen to you. You're actively participating in divine orchestration by becoming the person who's ready to recognize and honor what's being sent. Every day you choose healing over bitterness, hope over cynicism, growth over stagnation, you're positioning yourself for what's coming. The restlessness you feel, that's not anxiety, that's anticipation. Your spirit knows something your mind is still catching up to. Honor that feeling without letting it control you. Let it be the undercurrent of excitement that carries you forward, not the wave that drowns you. the peace you found. That's not resignation, that's readiness. You've done the work. You've fought the battles. You've climbed the mountains. Now you're standing at the summit, and what's coming is going to meet you at that elevation. They've been climbing their own mountain. And when you meet, it will be at a height you couldn't have reached earlier in your journey. For those of you who have been waiting for years, I need you to hear this: every single day of that wait has been meaningful. Not wasted. Not punishment. Not God forgetting about you. Meaningful preparation. You are not the same person who started this journey. You couldn't have received then what you're about to receive now. The wait transformed you into someone capable of the connection you desired. For those who've been hurt in the past, I want to speak directly to your fear. Yes, it's scary to hope again. Yes, it's vulnerable to believe this could be different. Yes, it's risky to open your heart one more time. But that courage, that willingness to try again despite the wounds, that's what makes you ready for real love. Cynicism would protect you from disappointment, but it would also prevent you from experiencing the joy that's coming. For those who feel like everyone else found their person and you got left behind, you're not behind. You're exactly on time for your unique journey. God's timing for you isn't the same as His timing for anyone else. Stop comparing. Stop measuring. Your story is your story, and it's unfolding exactly as it should. For those who wonder if they're actually ready, the fact that you're questioning it shows self-awareness, which is part of readiness. Perfect readiness doesn't exist. But willing readiness does. Being willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to work through challenges, that's the readiness that matters. And you have that. Now, I want to pray something over you. Even if prayer isn't your usual language, receive this as an intentional speaking of blessing over your life. May you recognize divine orchestration when you see it. May you have wisdom to discern what's from God and what's just your own desire. May you be protected from connections that aren't meant for you. May you be positioned for the connection that is. May your heart stay open without becoming desperate. May your standards stay high without becoming rigid. May you trust divine timing even when it challenges your human timeline. May you know peace in the waiting and joy in the meeting. May the person God is sending find you at exactly the right moment. May you recognize them. May they recognize you. May what you build together honor both of you and glorify God. May it be so. Before we close, if this message has spoken to your spirit, if you felt seen and encouraged, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't keep hope to yourself, spread it. Type, "I receive this," in the comments as an act of faith. Let your testimony become encouragement for others walking similar journeys. And remember, the signs are showing up because the reality is close. The preparation you're experiencing isn't random, it's specific. The timing that's frustrated you has been working for you. And very soon, you're going to look back on this season and understand why everything had to happen exactly as it did. Your person is being prepared. The path is being orchestrated. The timing is aligning. The meeting is coming. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that God hasn't forgotten you, overlooked you, or passed you by. Trust that what's coming is worth every moment of the wait. Trust that you're about to experience what you've been hoping for. Because beloved, you are about to meet someone special sent by God very soon. These are your signs. This is your confirmation. This is your moment to believe. And when it happens, when you meet them and your spirit says, "There you are," come back to this video and let me know. Share your testimony. Encourage others who are still waiting. Be the evidence that divine timing is real, that God hears prayers, that hope isn't naive. Until then, live fully. Love deeply. Trust completely. Your story is unfolding exactly as it should. This is your sign. This is your confirmation. Receive it. Believe it. And get ready. Because very soon, everything changes. If this message has ministered to your spirit, the Super Thanks feature allows you to be part of keeping this content flowing. Your support makes these deep, intentional messages possible. I'm truly grateful for this community and how we speak life over each other. Now go forward in peace, in hope, and in confident expectation. What you've been waiting for is closer than you think.